What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Shiny side up. Welcome back to my channel. This is Brandon again, and as you can currently see, and if you watched a previous video of mine, I am rolling my pant legs down to avoid any potential mishaps. Alright, we are good. Oh, can't leave that peg out. Nope, not doing that. It's not how I roll. Okay, shall we? The work day's done. I am drawing a blank on everything. Headed home after a long work day. As you can see, I am not properly geared up, and I do not recommend that to anybody ever. However, that being said, I am not fully jacketed and geared up because today, currently, it is about 103 outside, and I don't care how well perforated that jacket is. 103, that is hot. Hot. Yeah, when you're moving, look at that. He melted into the ground. Dude's like sleeping on the ground. I'm sure there's other reasons for that, but yeah. So anyway, it's very, very warm outside, and that is why I opted out of the jacket. Again, I don't recommend that. I am a big proponent, I should probably stick to my own advice, of always being geared up, because, you know, you never know. Better be safe than sorry. But today, I made an exception, because it's, God, it's hot. It was nice this morning. I had mentioned all of this in a video that I was recording on my way to work this morning, but that audio came out to be garbaggio, so not planning on using that. It was very crackly, and now I think I have worked out the kinks and bugs in my new to me setup. I am running my new to me GoPro Hero 8 Black with my mic converter adapter thing, plugs into the C-type port. Pretty sure that was another SV. Looked weird with that front fairing on it. It was harder to tell. Sorry, sidetracked. Something shiny. Yeah, running my new to me GoPro Hero 8 Black with the adapter for the mic. Opted for the mic adapter because I tried the media mod, and that worked for a day, and then it took a dive on me. And upon further research, I found that very, very common with the GoPro Hero 8s and the media mods. So running this morning, I was getting really crackly audio after I checked it on one of my brakes today, and then, you know, researched it. But anyway, it's all in another video. I think I got the bugs worked out. Now I just want this light to turn green so that I can go forward, because I am cooking. I am roasting. It is warm, man. It's a lot easier to deal with without the jacket, but still, it's warm. Let's go! So, hopefully the mic is still working. Again, I think I got the bugs worked out of it. I was also running into an issue where the camera, when you turn it on and everything's connected, does not like to recognize the mic. No. It likes you to first remove it and then plug it back into the camera and push, you know, give it a firm plug in, and then it'll recognize it and it's good to go. So I just have to, at this point, make that part of my routine before filming, and, you know, work with that. Because when I had tested on my lunch, I did a very, very short ride to get a shake, a meal replacement shake, and came back and listened to that audio, and it was working fine. So sounded good, crisp, clean, clear, working on both speakers, so that is great. The issue that was with the crackling and popping was due to the wind suppression software on the camera. With this setup, the wind suppression... Anyway, let me try and make a long story short. Wind suppression on the camera is trying to process all the audio and then search for wind noise and filter that out all at the same time. And turns out that though that was known to cause crackling, so it was recommended to turn that off, because I mean, for a motovlog setup, the mic is in my helmet, by my face, by my cheek. It's not getting any wind on it, really. So I turned that off, and that seemed to do the trick, which I am very, very happy about, because this camera is awesome, and the footage that I watched of it, I'm filming at 1080p currently, 60 frames per second, super view with hyper smooth turned on, and it's beautiful. I love the footage that it gets, so that's great. Anyway, enough about me. How was your work day, or day in general, if you were off for some reason, which if you were, man, I envy you. All right, we are splitting. Oh, that was a tip for the day that I had this morning, but the audio was garbage, so I'll say that again. Something I heard recently, and I like to, I've always thought this way, but it was put into words that I wish I had thought of, so I did not coin this term, but I love it. If you don't fit, don't split. By that I mean lane sharing, lane filtering, lane splitting, whatever you'd like to call it. See right there, I fit very clearly, so split just fine, up to the front safely. If you don't fit, don't split. That is a tip for today. Your best bet for gauging, if you're a new rider, I've been myself riding over 10 years, these two mirrors on either side, those are going to be your widest point on the bike in most cases, unless you're riding one of those big BMW adventure bikes or something of the like, and you have those giant suitcase bags on the side of it. I've seen those get pretty large. I guess I should be careful with my visor up, because I don't know how much wind is going into that thing. I guess I'll be able to tell after that. So, correction, now the visor's back down. If you're riding one of those big bags, those can likely be larger or wider than your bars or mirrors. So be mindful of that. If you don't fit, don't split. If you fit, split. Have fun. And that only really applies to the states where that's legal. I am here in California. I am roasting right now. But also Arizona, it is legal. I believe it fairly recently, became legal in Montana. I believe it's Montana. And I think Utah. Feel free to verify that with our dear friend Google. Google knows all. And I believe when I Googled it, it listed Hawaii on there as well. Which, I mean, that's super cool. So, yeah, if you don't fit, don't split. Also, because there's not a law for it exactly, the speed at which you should split. General rule of thumb, do not exceed 10 miles per hour over the surrounding vehicles, or I guess the vehicles you plan on splitting, which seems to be a fair assessment. Obviously, it happens, you're going faster than you mean to or whatever, but there are those few that I feel like sometimes can give the motorcyclists a bad rap, that like to split flying, just absolutely flying. I've seen guys split on one wheel. What are you thinking? props to you for your skill, however, slash stupidity. In my personal opinion, that's just not my jam. I prefer to keep both tires firmly planted on the ground, because let's be real, people, we are on two-wheeled vehicles, and each of our tires has a contact patch about that big, about the size of a quarter, versus these cars. They got four wheels, four tires with a contact patch. Let's say on that truck, I'm gonna say 6 inches wide by 3 inches, 6 by 3 inches on each tire. It's a lot more real estate touching the ground than what we got. I don't know, if I'm on a motorcycle and I want to get a wheel or two off the ground, I will do it on my dirt bike. Dirt gives a lot easier than asphalt. So there's just my 2 cents on that. So yeah, splitting, stay no more than 10 miles per hour over the surrounding vehicles. Yeah, that works. I like it, because your reaction time also comes into effect. 10 miles per hour over the speed of traffic is already fast enough. And yeah, anyway, before I start rambling and repeating myself, there you go, there's a little jewel for the day. Oh boy, I'm gonna ride and breathe for a bit, because as I said, it is over 100 degrees outside. It is quite warm, and I'm on the freeway, so the wind is good, but I'm still baking because it is a warm wind. But actually, here is something that we can do. I am going to accelerate and get up close next to a vehicle up here, and I'm going to match their speed roughly, and then I will accelerate to about 10 miles per hour over that, so you can have a gauge of what 10 miles an hour faster than the speed of traffic is. So let's see, I'm gonna pace this Audi right here. We're doing, let's see, I'm pacing the Audi and the Toyota. We are doing about 70, oh, he's pulling away a little, okay, 76, 77. So I need to hit 87. All right, here we go. Right about there. All right, 88, 87. So now we've got the Tacoma, and you see that is about 10 miles an hour faster than the surrounding vehicles. That seems like a decent pace to split at and still try to remain safe. That being said, I'm in the 80s right now, so I wouldn't recommend splitting at these speeds. Generally, if you're going to be filtering, splitting lanes, lane sharing, whatever you'd like to call it. People call it all sorts of different things. You're going to be doing it when you're coming up to a stoplight or in traffic, heavy traffic on the freeway, ideally. That being said, I, along with everybody else, have split faster than that. You got to admit, I've done it. I've done it behind officers, because dead stop traffic, you know, on the freeway, and you're splitting lanes, and you're in a whole group of bikes that are trying to get home from work or something, and then when the officer comes through splitting, we will all file in a line like soldiers behind that officer and match his pace, because, you know, we're pretty safe to assume he knows what he's doing. They are going to be the most highly trained on motorcycles, likely, more than many of us are. So yeah, it's a good safe bet, you know. Just another 2 cents. I swear it has got an extra 5 to 10 degrees hotter on this stretch of freeway. Oh man, I am cooking hard right now. So there you go, there's your jewels for the day. I will I'm sure think of some other topics, and yeah, come up with some other words of advice, hopefully. For now, I'm going to ride and conserve some of the oxygen in my body, since it's literally burning off. But I will pass this gentleman or lady in their overland vehicle That thing's pretty rad. I can't wait to give this footage a full look over with the super view and hyper smooth and everything. I think it's going to be quite beautiful and a heck of an upgrade from the Hero 3. Not dogging my Hero 3. Hero 3 was great, served its purpose. But this one has just got much better tech advancement in it than what the Hero 3 does. Oh, man. Okay. My skin is baking right now. Like, big time baking. How can I describe this feeling to you? With hot wind blasting on me on the highway at 83. Who here has seen Terminator 2 Judgment Day? Raise your hand. This guy. Yep. I've definitely seen that. You know the scene where Sarah Connor is having a flashback or a dream or a vision, and she's holding on to a chain link fence, holding on real tight and watching the kids play, and then all of a sudden the world is engulfed in fire, and it like blows her back on the chain link fence, and it's just her skeleton that's holding on to the chain link fence. That is exactly how I'm feeling right now. I wonder if in the jacket I wouldn't feel it as much because the wind's not directly on my skin, but c'est la vie. It is what it is. I'm gonna get around this guy and get some airflow going here. I wonder if the microphone is picking up the wind noise on the outside of the house. Probably not, but my shirt collar flapping at a crazy rate behind me and near the edge of my helmet here. Oh jeez. You know what I might just need to do? I think I'm gonna get off here at Main Street maybe, and maybe ride my way by the lake. That'll feel a little bit better. Oh jeez, just felt the temperature drop about 10 degrees. Man, need some more repaint back there, but that old F-250's in really good shape, sir. Beautiful. Nice to see an old truck in that good of shape. Feel like I usually see them as beaters. Oh look, shade. Oh, that felt magnificent for a split second. Yeah, do I want to just pass through, or do I want to go by the lake? I think by the lake, I'm going to do that. That sounds like it'll feel way better than what I'm doing right now. Woo! There's a little piece of wood. Glad I didn't nail that. In another video, I mentioned road hazards. Plywood, any wood for that matter. Avoid that. Avoid it like the plague. Avoid that like COVID. Oh man, it's wood on the road. I feel like it's one of your worst enemies, because wood that falls off on the road likely was part of something or removed from something and could have not splinters, but nails, staples, Sharpie things that are not good for your motorcycle tires. So avoid that. I try to at all costs. Avoid road hazards as much as you can, but metal, wood, anything that looks like it could be associated with sharp metal objects, dodge that for sure, man. You don't want to be hitting that in any vehicle. But on a bike, like I said earlier, we got only 2 tires and only about a 50-cent piece worth of contact patch of tire material to road, so you know, it's not a ton. Oh geez, I'm going at slower speeds here, so I think I'll put my visor up and just have my my shades down for the wind. Oh, look at that. What you riding, dude? Looks like a Vitpillin 401 or Svartpillin, whichever one that is. Gosh, the hot air is blowing into my eyes, and it's like burning, bro. It's crazy. But I'm wondering, so part of the fix for this issue was the fix for it was turning off the noise suppression altogether. But it was also mentioned that I could potentially see better quality audio listening to the bike sounds overall, which I am always okay with. Thought you were gonna make a U-turn there, lady. I'm like, that is a non-U-turn area at all. Oh, that is terrifying. That dude's got a Jason mask on the passenger seat in his work van. So coming down the street, you're looking inside of it, and that is not okay, sir. Oh man, let's get through this and let's get down by the lake, huh? Let's get some cooling, at least somewhat near the water, hopefully. Hopefully the wind noise is non-existent due to the positioning of my mic, because I have it in my helmet but tucked in by the cheek pad and underneath like a wind deflector for when the visor's open, kind of goes up over your nose, sort of a little bit, not up and over, but you know what I mean. So it's completely virtually hidden and blocked from any of the wind, other than, you know, my big mouth just breathing all over it. Alright, he's gonna go. My turn. Oh, SV, you sound so delicious. Okay. See if I can do a stop without putting my feet down. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Nice Mustang. Convertible. That thing was flawless. Beautiful. There's an officer of the law. Hello, officer. This house is a very interesting house here. They recently had a tree fall over from a storm. It took forever to have it removed because it was massive, and that is why their fence is highly jacked up, because that thing came crashing down on the fence. And yeah. Misshift that. Gotta keep my speed lower in here because we are in a school-ish zone. 37 up. Yep, I'm tapering off a little bit, trying to keep it where it needs to be, sir. I'm really trying. School is out, but you still got to be safe around here. You never know. Sometimes kids and parents and stuff are all lingering around. All right, we're in a 40 zone. I'm doing about 43 anyway. You know, it's weird. It's hard to go slow sometimes. It really is. Jack's Barbecue. If you guys are in the Lake Elsinore area and want a awesome view and some good barbecue, that is a good spot. Oh man, it's hot. My hand's like falling asleep here. 45 is the speed limit, Brandon. Don't be hooniganing around. 48 is acceptable, especially with our officer of the law following. Hey, I'm already doing 51. Slow it down. Come on now. It's hard to maintain that exact speed. Like 50 is I'm cruising, but it's hard to maintain that slow speed. That's why people like to go faster, probably. They don't even realize they're going faster. It's okay, I'm conserving gas. Follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules and you go crazy, you get in trouble. What do they say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right? And the cop is, you know, he's with me, but at least I hope he appreciates that I'm trying to do the right speed. The car behind him is tailgating him. Oh man, so by the lake it was better with the wind and the water. But now I am back in the cooking zone. Crock pot, man, I'm slow cooking. And remember my rule. If you don't fit, don't split. It's a little bit tight getting up there, so I think I'm gonna pass on the splitting. Definitely. Hot, 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 hot. Yeah, all you guys are gonna dodge, dip around each other. Oh, Jeebus, Jeebus, Jeebus. You know what? I'm gonna get to the front of the pack now because I fits, so I splits. That's how that goes. Excuse me, Mr. Pickup Truck, can you move your butt? Doot, 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 doot. Thank you, sir. Whee. Okay. Well, I'll close this just in case the wind sound got a little crazy, because I don't know how it's going to react with this setup, where it's at, and no wind suppression. I think it should be fine, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. Later!